Hey guys, so in today's video we will go through an important concept in React.js context API. So it is used to manage the global states in your application. It is a way to pass your props from to an every component, like we call it props drilling. If you go down, then it's avoid prop drilling. Prop drilling means ki, let's say if you created component A, and let me go to the code. Let's say if you created component A and you are passing some props, and now it has some other child component, component 2, component 3, component uh, component 5. Similarly, we have lots of child component inside it. Okay, so now this props is only needed by component 5. Okay, but we need to pass this props to component this, and then finally it will be passed to this component 5 and then able to use, right? So solve this problem, we call this problem the props drilling. To solve this problem, use context. There are many other uses of using the context. I have given just one example, but you can find a lot of example based on the context. Okay, so let me go to the code, and let me, yeah. So for context creation, we must first create the context, then we create provider, and then consumer. So remember it, whenever we need context in the application, we will create context. To create context, we just have to use create context from React, and we can name that context. Okay, and then second part of creating context is using context is creating a provider, a component that provides the context value to its children. We have to create a component provider that will provide those objects to the our consumer. Okay, and third one is the consumer. So for consuming your context, you have to use the use context hook. Through it we can use the uh, context that has been created. Okay, now I will show you a sample code, how we are creating context. So here, see, we are importing create context from React and creating a context named my context. Okay, and then we are creating a provider, and in the provider we are passing the values which we want to share with the other components. Okay, now this is the component where we use those context that we have created, so that is called consumer. Okay, so you for using your context, we have to use the use context hook. In this way, we have to write our context, we have to import our context as well and pass it to the use context, and then through context we can use that object values. We have user and is login, so we are accessing the context dot use value, and when we run this, then our application will show the contact username John Doe. Okay, we use best practices of the use context. Avoid overuse. If you use context, it will make your application code complex. Instead of it, you can use react redux, so that your application can be managed very nicely. It helps in splitting the context, minimizes values. I've already told you it helps in avoiding the props drilling, global state management, dynamic configuration. Like if you want some features based on some configuration, then you can do that. Like if you have seen the application in which we use multilingual support, like we can switch language English to Hindi, dependency injections, like we can inject the services inside the React project. So these things we can do through the context API. And for more reference, you can go to the React document and check what other things had been mentioned on the React dev. uh, Let me go to that. Okay, we have create context, and we can do this thing. Yeah, similar kind of discussions are there in this document as well. Let me go to the example directly instead of showing it to you. So I have created a component called as theme component.txx, and other component I had created is called theme provider.tsx, and then I am using app.tsx to import those providers. So let me show you all these things. So I have created this theme provider. It is creating the context, then it is creating a provider, and then I am using this theme context to switch the language which is using those provider that we have created inside the app theme provider.tsx. And now if we click, now if we go to the UI and click, let me reload this application and toggle thing, it will toggle the thing. So this is a basic example of using use context. You can better go to the code base and check how we can implement in a large code base. For other example, I will update this readme as well, and if you want more example or more context on this, you can ping me, or you can put the comment in a video. I will definitely reply you back. Thank you.